Hi, and thank you for tuning in to Dani Changg. So today I actually have Stacyann J here, and we're going to talk about
narcissism.
Dun, dun, dun.
Narcissism.
And it's a topic that I've wanted to talk about for a while too, because I feel like a lot of people have come across a narcissist, whether
and you never know it too.
Exactly, yeah. Whether it's as a friend, you know, your dad, your, your
spouse.
Exactly, spouse. Exactly. So, thought we would start off with the definition of a narcissist, so we can get everyone on the same page, know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, according to Wikipedia, narcissism is the pursuit of gratification from vanity or egotistic admiration of one's idealized self-image and attributes. This includes self-flattery, perfectionism, and arrogance. The term originated from Greek mythology, where the young Narcissus fell in love with his own image, reflected in a pool of water. I actually remember that story as well. The whole them falling in love with the image in the water when I was learning about Greek mythology and stuff. The girl's like, yeah, if you don't remember
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I wonder if it's easy to spot initially. I feel like you don't often notice it from the jump.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
And sometimes some narcissists know how to cover it up.
Yes. Yep.
And it's like they wait for you to get comfortable with them, and then that's when they start to unleash all this nastiness. You're just like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Some of them are great actors.
I wonder, are all these other toxic, traits that, people have, like, turning the tables on you and making things your fault instead of their fault?
Yeah.
Are these all part of narcissistic tendencies and traits,
I believe so. Because for somebody to not take responsibility for their actions, it says a lot, right?
Yeah.
Only selfish people would do that.
Yeah.
Put all the burden on you, make you feel like a horrible person because that's how they feel about themselves. So they project.
They project their negative self-image onto you. So, like, what are those, like warning signs that you need to get out because this guy's a narcissist?
Well, there is guys that are always talking about themselves. You're on the date, they don't even want to get to know you, but they're just like, oh, and did you know that I did, X, Y, and Z, and did you know, and this is what, and I didn't even ask you how your day was.
Yes. Girl, that's a good one. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I have experienced that type where you're out and they're just all about them. Yeah, and you barely can get a word in. You're
just like, oh, okay. Not even the door open for you. Do you know my name, sir? You're telling me all of this. Do you know my name?
Yeah.
You're telling me about all your achievements, which is good. I want you to be proud of that. That's awesome. Yeah. Right? But what about you? What do you like to do?
Exactly. And actually, on a first date, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be trying to gather more information about the other person. You still want to do some self-disclosure as well, but if it's totally off the scale, like it's just all him, then me,
and then when you try to put in a little word, you're just like, oh, that reminds me of the time when I like what?
What's funny earlier? I hope you don't want me bringing this up, but if you do, I'll edit it out.
Oh gosh.
But when you said, when we first chose this topic, I wonder if I'm a narcissist.
Yeah. I was wondering. I'm like, am I a narcissist? Because I didn't know the full definition at the time. So when I, started investigating and doing my research, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely not. Yeah.
But I think everyone has like a little bit of some of the traits, right?
Well,
because I find that sometimes I'll do that. I'll be like, oh, I remember like something they say reminds me of something about myself. Yeah. But then I have to sometimes remember that right now this is their story. Let's keep the focus on them. Yeah. And not make it, back to about me. Because I think people love talking about themselves.
Of course.
As humans.
Yeah.
As you said.
No, of course. Which is natural, right? But there's an extent to it. Yes. There's an extent. Yeah. And if somebody could only think about themselves and have no empathy for others, that's where the problem.
Yes, I think the part where you can probably spot a narcissist is where they don't care about anybody else.
Nothing. They don't care. You can tell them that a baby got caught on fire, God forbid it. And they're just like, well, it's not my baby.
And they just don't
They don't care. They just don't care. They just live their life.
They lack empathy for other people around them and they kind of live in their own little bubble.
Yes. They live in their own world where it's just me. I was put on this earth by myself. There is nobody else but me. And that's their attitude.
Die by myself. Yeah, it's true.
That is their attitude. They really do not care.
Yeah.
You know?
But because it is all of them, I find trying to probably break up with a narcissist would be hard too, because that's going to be such a blow to their ego because they're so self-centered, right? Which is another way to spot them. They're very self-centered, into themselves, into their own interests and agendas, and not really into helping you and helping you grow, but more about them. Me again.
Yeah. So if they ever help you, they're helping you to help themselves.
Yeah.
Everything has an intention for themselves. If they help others, they want something out of it. Like, remember the time when I helped you with that? Yeah, now it's your turn to help me with that. Their intentions are never genuine.
Yes.
Never genuine.
I think of, when I think of that too, I think of an ex where he wanted back some of the items he had given me. He actually said that. And I just thought, that is just so disgusting, because that shows you didn't really give it to me with a pure heart. Like, you know what I mean? I just thought it was just one of the, but I think he was a narcissist, and that was part of the traits, because he gave those things to me, you know, in exchange for certain things, you know? So once that was done, that was not going to happen anymore. He wanted his stuff back.
That's so wild.
Right? Girl.
Ew. I'm sorry. That's just so disgusting. When you give somebody a gift, even if you guys are not talking anymore, you gave that person that gift because you cared about them. Right? Well, you're supposed to anyway.
Yes, exactly.
You were thinking about them, you cared about them, you knew this is what they would like. Why would you want it back?
Why would you want it back? I would never ask for someone back for things I've given them.
Yeah, like for what? I gave it to you because this is what you liked, although our friendship or our relationship is over.
Yeah.
Whatever, do you?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask back for everything that
and honestly and truthfully, like time and like things like that are so much more valuable than gifts, and you can't get that back, so why am I gonna bother ask back for the gift?
Exactly. Can you give me back my time?
Can you give me back my time? That's what I should have asked him. Can you give me back my years as
Shoot.
Yeah, but yeah, that's another good one, because I really feel like after that, I just knew in my heart, like, oh, I'm done. Like, you know, because after that was the last straw for me, like showing me that you're taking back stuff you gave me.
That is too much. That's the...
Yeah, and my advice for women, don't give it back. I was stupid.
Yeah.
I was trying to be all like, have your stuff.
Do not give it back. Absolutely not. Sell it, pawn it if you need to. Burn it, catch it on fire. Record it like, oh, you want your stuff back?
But you know what though, I say this, but I would probably give it back to another person who asked me back for stuff again, because I'm so like, I guess this is my thing too, where like I'm so prideful that I'll be like, oh, you think I need that? Heck yeah, you know what?
I'm also prideful.
Take it back. Because I'm like, no, like, don't feel like you have this over me, or like I need this, you know? But it was just a bad taste in your mouth, in the sense that you would actually have the gall to ask back for something you've given.
That's just absolutely whack. Sorry, that's ridiculous. Honestly.
Yep.
Narcissism is no joke, guys. So once you spot it, you just need to walk away, because unfortunately, that's who they are, and they're not going to change for nobody.
And the thing is, it's funny, because I always have the thing in my mind that people can change, right? But I think even you mentioned to me about the Red Table Talk.
Yes.
And about how when they talked about Narcissist, if you guys haven't checked it out, you can check that out too. They talked about Narcissist, and I remember I guess she was a psychologist that was on the show.
Yeah.
She
was a doctor.
Was she a doctor?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She was just saying that basically after a certain time, like, that's it. Like, they're not going to change. Their behavior's not going to change. They're not going to get better. Most likely, this is going to be how they are. And I just thought,
they're stuck in their own ways. Very ignorant people. They're stuck in their own ways. And, you know, I thought that maybe people were born with this, because I thought it was a mental illness, which it is. But people actually develop these habits.
Yes. Yeah, they were talking
like
about
the way they were
parents,
raised. Yeah,
the way they were raised, either like very absent parents or parents that were very, like, I guess, overindulgent and gave them too much. So I know, that's crazy. So all y'all kids, you know, make sure you ain't raising no narcissists.
Please talk with your children. See how the day was at school. See what they like. engage with them. You know what I mean? Don't neglect them and don't overbear them either. Because when you spoil them too much, you give them something for nothing, they're gonna feel like the whole world owes them everything. Right?
Yes.
So it's a balance. Parenting is not easy, but it's a balance. You got to make your children work for what they have and make them appreciate everything that they have, even with allowance. Like, okay, you cleaned your room today, this is what you get. Reward them for something, and not for nothing.
Yep.
And don't avoid narcissism.
Yeah, because even I don't have kids yet, but I can definitely tell the ones of my friends that were spoiled.
Yeah.
And when they're adults, like, you can tell some of them
big babies.
Some of them turn into some narcissistic adults or big babies. So it's a fact. Okay, so what if it's not your man, it's not your husband, but this is someone you have to deal with? This is, you know, the child that you raised and made a narcissist, or this is your dad, or, you know,
your ex.
Yeah, your ex that you still have to deal with, right?
Whoo, that's so
But like, how do you deal with that? Like, these are people you can't. You're probably not just gonna dash them away because they're a narcissist, right? So you have to learn how to deal with them. So, how would you go about dealing with someone that's like this?
Well, first of all, it's like talking to a baby. It is. You gotta keep asking them, like, okay, are you sure this is the decision that you want to make? So this is exactly what you want me to do. Go step by step. Okay, so if you do this, this is the consequences that will happen. This will happen. That will happen. You have to break everything down to them, and it's like nurturing a child.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, you gotta make them reflect on what they're saying. Like, maybe this is stupid, because they're so self-centered, right? So you gotta let them know, like, okay, this could happen to you.
Because they only really care about the repercussions on themselves.
Exactly. So you have to reflect it back to them. They have to think about it, like, maybe this is not a good idea, right? And then when you make things sound really stupid to them, but still say it in a sarcastic type of way, they're just like, I feel offended, but I guess that's dumb, and I should do things differently, and I personally deal with one, so I've learned. This is stuff that I've learned dealing with this person.
No, that's why I'm taking it.
This is stuff I've learned. Like, okay, to avoid the headache, let me just break things down to you, sir. This is how it's gonna go.
But sometimes I also think it's possibly also just letting them know you're not gonna deal with certain behaviors. A good thing too. Because once they know that, like, oh, your tactics aren't working on me, I already figured this shit out. Like, you know, you trying to switch it on me or play victim and things like that are not going to work with me. I figured this out. Don't do this with me. Then I think they might not try that with you anymore, because they'll think it's a futile attempt because you're not going to be suckered into it anyways, right?
And that kind of turns them on. That turns them on. When you don't put up with their crap, they're just like, oh. Right? So they're gonna find ways to try to get into your head.
Shit, so you're gonna make it worse for yourself.
They'll respect you as a person, like, okay, this person's not putting up with my crap, but it keeps them interested, like, how can I hammer into this person's mind? Because they want what they want, and they're gonna do anything
to get what they want. Yeah.
Right? And that's why a lot of narcissisms, they're very wealthy. Narcissists,
but because they're so self-indulgent, and they're almost like, I'll kick down anyone else to get what I want.
That's exactly what they do.
And you know what? I've always found that, like, most of the guys I end up dating, for whatever reason, I think I'm attracted to guys that are very ambitious. I like entrepreneurs. I like these types of guys, right? And so there you go, right? And I do feel like, not all of them, but some of them have really been that type, like, where I feel like they're so on their goal. I think if they had to run over me to get to their goal, they probably would have, because they're just kind of like, I'm getting there, I'm getting there. And so now I still like the ambitious type and the entrepreneurial type, but I'll really look to see if they care about people as well.
Yes. And how they go about things.
And how they go about getting what they want. Because if you're willing to do anything to get what you want, you probably will get far. But are you the type of person I want in my life? Nah, I'm good.
That's what, see there. You will get far, but how? Who are you gonna share that wealth with? When you go, are you gonna put all of that in your casket?
Yeah.
Who's that gonna get passed down to?
Yeah.
So you lived your life for yourself and nobody benefit from that.
Well, you know what? Don't get me wrong. They'll probably, like, some of those guys I dated, they probably will end up with some young thing that's gonna want them for their money, but, like, whatever.
Those guys, they become sugar daddies. They become sugar daddies because they wanted to be a-holes when they were younger.
Right? No, but honestly, right?
Now someone's young daughter's using you.
So then it's like, yeah, you know what? In that situation, I guess maybe they're both getting what they want. He wants the young thing and she wants the money, so do you, boo. But, you know, I know you missed out same way, so that's what it is.
Right? You could have had a wife next to you. Now you got some young thing using you, sucking you out for your money, probably planning your death.
Stop it.
Well, that's what they want. They see you as a dollar sign. They're just like, okay, when is this guy gonna die? Like, you know, should I put something in his drink? Should I, you know, sex him to death? Should I, you know what I mean?
Not sex him to death. I'm just gonna zip my wire.
But no, it's the karma that they reap, right? And they know that these young women don't want them.
No, they don't.
So
never thought I could be so unselfish, 'cause I gave you everything. Gave you all that I had, now you want someone else.
In this case, I don't think we're talking about love. I don't think we're talking about the girl he's gonna be with for the rest of the end of time, right? So this is an
if she's
exchange.
talking like that,